Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is video 2 of the testosterone series, and this one is going to be about changes on T, kind of more in depth in my personal experience with that, and then also administration of the medication. Alright, so in February I'll be 2 years on T, so I'll kind of go through. So I'm still experiencing changes. Usually you'll experience changes up to 5 years plus. So, alright, so first let's go through the increased muscle mass and strength. So each one I'll tell you too if it's reversible or not, so meaning if it's permanent. So this is reversible, and this is going to depend on your physical activity. So onset is 6 to 12 months, and max effect is 2 to 5 years. So I'm a bodybuilder. So I was able to see this change really quickly. I would say within the 6 months, I definitely noticed that I put on a lot of muscle, which was great. Next one is body fat redistribution. So this can be reversible. So that means if you go off testosterone, your fat's going to go back to where it was. So what that means is your fat's going to go from your thigh to hips. So that's where a usual female's fat is, to your abdomen and lower back. And onset of this is 3 to 6 months, and max effect is 1 to 5 years. So it takes a while. And I would say for me, I noticed about the year mark or so, and I think it's still continuing as well. Next is skin oiliness and acne. So this is reversible, so that's nice. So it's just like going through a second puberty. So kind of what you went through acne-wise for your first puberty is going to be probably what you're going to get this time. I was fortunate that I didn't have bad acne the first time, so this time hasn't been that bad. It is a good idea to have a good skin routine, though, I will say. It's super, super important. You can talk to a dermatologist too, and they'll actually recommend the products that you need to use. I actually have a friend that was in the field, and she recommended me some skincare way before this. So I've been using it for a long time, and that really helped. I am thankful though that I haven't gotten really, really bad acne like some people have. So yeah, that sucks. Alright, so deepened voice. So this one is a permanent change, so just be kind of wary about that. The onset is 3 to 6 months, and max effect is 1 to 2 years. I've actually heard that it can keep deepening past the 2 years, so it just kind of varies person to person. And this actually was one of the first changes that I experienced. I had the classic scratchy throat, and it was during the COVID stuff, so I wouldn't know if it was, am I getting COVID or is it just my, testosterone. It was kind of funny, because you just didn't know, because it feels pretty much the same. And then also the voice cracks. I mean, this is your typical male puberty stuff. I mean, it's just it's the same idea. I think I'm pretty much past that, because I had a hard time projecting my voice before it would crack, and so yeah, that sucked when I was working. Alright, next is facial and body hair growth. So this is permanent as well. The onset is 3 to 6 months, and then max effect 3 to 5 years. So I would say for your facial hair, it's gonna take a while. The first places I noticed was the mustache area, and then a little bit on my chin, and then body hairs everywhere, like they say. I am using a beard growth oil and Dermarolla to try to get my hair to grow in, and I've seen great progress in a month. I will be doing a review of those products as well that I bought. Alright, another one is scalp hair loss. So that's the classic male pattern baldness. So that is permanent. This is going to vary by your genetics. Thankfully, I've kept my hairline so far, so fingers crossed. But I'm only 2 years in, so. Infertility, that's another one. So that is permanent, and that will vary. So cessation of menses, so this is your trigger warning, this is your period, your menstrual cycle, that kind of stuff. So that actually can be reversed. So if you get off testosterone, or even some guys on testosterone will still have their menstruation, and that sucks, but yes, it is reversible. So onset of that is 2 to 6 months. So for me, I was on birth control pills before I even started T to stop my menstruation anyways. So I have no idea if or when it stopped or whatever. So, and I plan on staying on that because I'm all set with getting that, you know. So next is vaginal atrophy. And this is reversible as well. It just kind of means that area kind of shrinks and you can get very dry. The onset is 3 to 6 months, and then max effect is 1 to 2 years. Again, this is reversible, so if you go off T, you might notice like a difference. I haven't noticed anything in that area, so that's good. Next is the big one that everybody is curious about and has a lot of questions. This is the clitoral enlargement. So this is permanent, so kind of be aware of that. Onset is 3 to 6 months, and max effect is 1 to 2 years. Again, I've heard that it can be longer, which is nice. So this is one of the first, if not the first thing that I noticed. I would say within like the first week, it was pretty crazy. So I felt like a tingling sensation in that area, some like nerve zaps, but nothing like painful. So it wasn't really painful for me, which was great. You do have to be careful about your underwear though. So I would suggest like loose fitting, like not cotton, just because it's gonna rub and it's just gonna be uncomfortable. So just kind of wear everything loose. And the average size is like the size of your thumb. It can vary, like cis guys, you know, it can vary, size can vary. So, and yes, it gets hard like a penis, I know, and you do get boners. And it does look like a penis with the head and foreskin, which is pretty cool. You can also use a pump, so it's particularly for that area. Or you can use testosterone cream. So this is not the gel that you put on like for your medication. This is a particular like cream that's made for that area. You want to make sure that it's actually specifically compounded, like a pharmacy compounded it for that specific area. And both these will increase size. Just for personal preference. And then if you're considering the Phalloplasty, which is a very, I would say it's not as invasive as a Phalloplasty. So if you're considering that, a lot of the surgeons will have you do these two things to try to get it to grow in size, because they're going to use what you have in size and it might get a little bit bigger, but you want to be as big as you can before the surgery. Alright, so last thing is administration. So there's a lot of ways to take your tea. So I do gel. So that's transdermal. So what I do is I have like a little packet, and I put half of the packet on this arm here, and I go kind of from the shoulder all the way to the tricep. You know, I rub until it's all rubbed in, and then the other half like that. And you want to make sure that before you put your clothes on, that it's dry, and then make sure you wash your hands really well, because it can transfer, especially if you have women in your life, you live with women, babies, children, that type of stuff. So make sure you wash your hands. The next one is injections. So this is a very popular one. I feel like most people, this is what they do with shots. So you can do either IM, which is intramuscular, which goes directly right into the muscle, or you can do sub-Q. So that's when you pull up the skin like that, and the needle goes underneath the skin instead of all the way in the muscle. Next is patches. So these are patches that you kind of put, and they'll just kind of stay. I believe it's like you can have them for like 24 hours or something like that. And then the last one is kind of I don't think a lot of people do this, but it's pellets. So it's injected. It's almost like if you know the microchips that are injected in dogs. I mean, the same idea. A little needle goes in and injects a pellet. I don't know much about pellets. I don't think it's very popular, but it's kind of neat. I think a lot of the administration is just due to your insurance and what you're comfortable with. Because some insurance won't cover the gel, or what they cover is not very much. And then injections, you know, could be really cheap. They could be free. So it just kind of depends on your insurance. I will go through insurance about HRT and top surgery, so be on the lookout for those videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.